Hello, my friends. There's a topic in the tech review world that a lot of people have been covering over the last several years, and one that I've completely stayed out of. Verizon Wireless's iPhone. I really haven't talked about it at all on any of my videos, I believe, in depth. And I think it's actually finally time to talk about it because I feel that it's coming soon. I'm saying a Q1 2011 launch of the iPhone 4 on Verizon Wireless. So for Will, James, and all the other people who have asked me questions about the Verizon Wireless iPhone 4, I think you finally have a solid time frame to look for your next smartphone. So here's all that evidence, and then I'll get to what I expect the phone to look like. So on January 11th, 2011, Verizon Wireless is actually going to be having a press event. This isn't an Apple event, this is a press event from Verizon Wireless. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is that? Who cares? That doesn't mean anything about Apple. Well, think about it. This is about 40 hours after CES ends. What's so special that requires its own event after CES? And if you watched my Verizon Wireless CES video, you saw that none of the phones were showstoppers. But maybe if they get a Verizon Wireless iPhone, that, my friends, would definitely be a showstopper for Verizon Wireless's 2011 portfolio. So that's the first piece of evidence. The second piece is Apple and Verizon have reportedly both blocked vacation dates from February 3rd to February 6th for their employees. So during those dates, people won't be able to go on vacation, they'll have to come into work. And also, Apple has decided to keep on their holiday staff much longer than expected. So for February 3rd to February 6th, we could definitely see a launch, and Apple would be all hands on deck, ready to sell those phones. Because even though it's not necessarily, the yearly launch that everybody expects, all of the Verizon Wireless customers who want that iPhone 4 are going to be lined up to buy it, just as the AT&T launch and worldwide launch last year. So that's the second piece of evidence. Now the third piece is there was recently a video showing a new iPhone body. It was very similar to the iPhone 4, slightly modified, antenna layout, but it was basically the same thing. And miraculously, hey, this video is no longer available due to a copyright claim by Apple Inc., which basically means Apple had the video taken down. So why would they have it taken down? Well, obviously it's their product, and obviously it means something is coming very soon. So those are three pieces of evidence, and I think these are the most solid things. And the Wall Street Journal, for the fourth piece, has actually said that they're confirming that this is true, that this event is for the iPhone on Verizon Wireless. So the Wall Street Journal isn't your definite answer, but I think with all four pieces of that evidence, I think it's pretty safe to say we may be finally seeing that Verizon Wireless iPhone next week on the January 11th media event for Verizon Wireless. Now, what is this going to look like? Well, I think one of the pieces of defense for the fact that this isn't an Apple event but a Verizon Wireless event is I feel this is going to be the iPhone 4, the same one that we have now, but it's going to be available on Verizon Wireless. Because I think that it would be a little bit weird for Apple to have a whole media event just saying a current product is being added to another carrier, because throughout the years we've seen new carriers get added to the iPhone lineup, but they haven't had their own Apple events. The carrier has announced it. So I think that this kind of makes sense if Verizon is now grabbing the iPhone 4 for it to be a Verizon event. However, I still think that there's a pretty good chance that Steve walks onto the stage and makes a little appearance and says, we're finally here, we finally have a Verizon deal, which is kind of unique because they actually, a little history lesson, in 2007, Apple originally went to Verizon instead of AT&T, and Verizon was like, this is cool, but delete all your software, we'll do it. We'll take the hardware from you, but no, we're going to do our own software. I don't like this iPhone software. And Steve was like, stick it up your butt, we're going to AT&T, and now it's 2011 and we can see what big mistake Verizon made. So coming Q1 2011, these are just the specs of the iPhone 4, which I expect on Verizon Wireless. Again, 4.5 inches by 2.31 inches by 0.37 inches, 4.8 ounces, that 1 gigahertz A4 chip we've all seen, 3.5-inch Retina display, which is 326 pixels per inch, 5-megapixel 720p rear sensor, VGA front-facing, for FaceTime, Skype, portraits, etc. Now here's the question. CDMA, obviously, but will there be an LTE radio? That's the biggest question. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking it's just going to be CDMA, because I think that when they release the iPhone 5 to be able to incorporate fourth generation wireless technology for more than just Verizon Wireless, for different types of 4G around the world, that's probably going to be a big selling point for the next iPhone. But right now, it wouldn't really make sense for them to have a 4G technology in only one smartphone. So I'm saying it's going to be probably CDMA only in January or Q1 2011. But I think it's going to have a slightly modified antenna system. Obviously, Verizon's network works a little bit differently than AT&T's, and clearly there was a little bit of a problem with it. So obviously, over the few months that they've had since the AT&T and Regular launch, the HSDPA launch, they've probably improved the design of that antenna system a little bit, so it may be slightly modified. And I think it'll be 16 and 32 gigabytes in black. Again, I don't think we're going to be seeing a white with the current generation. But the Verizon Wireless iPhone is finally coming. I expect it to be launched in Q1 2011, and I'd love to hear your opinions. Are you psyched? Even if this doesn't have LTE, is this still going to be the killer phone, the top of the line, the epitome of the Verizon lineup for 2011? Going above and beyond all the new 4G devices they launched at CES? Honestly, in terms of how many units they're going to ship when this happens, I'm saying yes, but I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section below. I'm Michael Sherlock from michaelsherlock.com. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.